welcome back. I get this question all the time. What kind of products will mattify my skin? And this is not as far as Mary Kay products, but as a general thing. When summer rolls around, we tend to get a little bit more oily, and there are some products that will help you mattify, or it will help you tame all that oils. I especially have my T-zone really oily during the summertime, and even though I like the dewy look on my skin, I like it into this area right here and maybe a little bit my forehead, but not my T-zone, showing that I have a combo skin, or just, I don't know, it just doesn't look flattering on me. I think that, you know, having a dewy nose, it's never flattering, at least on me. So for that reason, I use some dewy products, especially bronzer and blush and highlighter. But what happens when there are those times that I want to have my skin matte, that I want it to last all day long? What are those products from Mary Kay that I use and recommend? Well, this is what this video is going to be about. There are those occasions where I am going to be in a meeting, or I'm going to be working, or I'm going to be in a party, or I am going to be taking pictures, and I want to make sure that even though I may have a little bit of highlighter in this area, I mostly want my skin to look matte, especially in pictures or if I have more professional day. So for that reason, I always have a few products that I trust for those special occasions. The first one is the Blotting Papers by Mary Kay. Now I have other blotting papers in my collection, like the e.l.f. ones, and I know these ones are a lot more expensive than the e.l.f. or the drugstore ones, but I like this ones especially for a special occasion because these are a little bit thicker. You just only need to use one. It feels like it has a little bit of powder, so it absorbs even more from your skin, and it doesn't mess with your foundation or the products that you already have on your skin. For example, sometimes when I use the e.l.f. ones that I showed in another video recently, the only problem that I have with that is that I have to use more than one, because if I just continue to use the one to remove the oil, sometimes it starts to leave some little fibers, and it's weird because you can see the fibers in the paper, like it's really inside the paper, but once you start to blot, and sometimes, for me anyways, I can see a little bit of fibers or paper residue, especially in my chin area. So that's something that, especially when it's a meeting or it's something important that I want to look as best as possible, I usually take these with me. Even though they're a little bit more expensive, I save it for those occasions. Now it's very easy to use, and it comes in this little thing that it's almost like a tissue thing. You pull out and then you blot your face. Now the other thing that I trust whenever I am going to be using more of a dewy foundation, or if I'm just going to use a regular foundation, not the matte formula Time Wise from Mary Kay, is this powder. This is the translucent loose powder. It's a white, very finely milled powder that you apply as a setting powder all over the face. You can apply it in your under eye area, and this has little microspheres that they're going to absorb the excess oil on your skin. So even though you use something that is a little bit more creamy or dewy as a foundation, it's going to continue to have that look without looking oily throughout the day. So this is something that is going to prevent to get the dewy look into something really oily and not pretty looking. So I do like that. I also like to use it with my matte foundation from Mary Kay as a setting powder, because it gives me more of an HD effect, not so much for the mattifying properties of this. Now if you're really oily, you probably know that more than likely after 6 or 8 hours the oils are going to start to come out anyways, so it's always good to have this product. Now this powder does give you a flashback, so if you're doing some flash photos or something, just keep that in mind. This may not be the powder that you want to use for that specific occasion, and maybe use the matte foundation and take the blotting papers with you just in case you need to touch up your makeup. When I use these blotting papers, I feel like I do not need to use any kind of powder on top. So for me, this is something that makes it better compared to the other blotting papers that I have in my collection, which I usually have to blot and then touch up, just to making sure that everything looks really nice and fresh. when I use this and remove my oils, I don't really have to do that because the products underneath are intact, especially when I use the matte foundation or the luminous finish foundation mixed with this powder. I just find that this doesn't mess with anything underneath. It just removes the oil and it will look like you just freshly applied your makeup. So anyways, these two products really work for me, and if you haven't tried them and you want to try a new product from Mary Kay to mattify your skin, I hope that you keep these in mind and also the tips that I gave you throughout this video so you can see the same results, or maybe you love them as much as I love them. So anyways, if you're new to my channel, remember to subscribe so you won't miss any new videos Monday through Fridays. I will link all the videos that I have from Mary Kay up here if you want to keep watching them. And thanks again. I'll see you on my next video.
I'm coming to your tree.